feels more divided than ever, a group is trying to prove that we have more in common than we may realize. Braver Angels is the largest cross-partisan volunteer-led movement in the U.S., trying to bridge divides and strengthen our democratic republic.
So here right now is Eric Brody, the blue co-chair, and Sandra Brownrigg, the red co-chair. We're all here together getting along, right? So you're both now at the Colorado Southern Front Range Alliance and state reps for the Colorado Braver Network. And despite their different political opinions, are friends, hoping to show others how to do the same. So let's start with you, Sandra. Tell us more about Braver Angels and the goal behind this grassroots movement.
All right. Braver Angels is a nationwide grassroots organization that's dedicated to bridging the political divide and strengthening our constitutional republic. So we bring people together who have principled disagreements, and we have respectful dialogue where we seek to deepen our understanding of each other rather than simply, butt heads. So we've been around since 2016. We've hosted over 5,000 events, and we have over 16,000 members now.
Wow.
Can I just say, this is so refreshing because I have a lot of friends on both sides of the aisle in the issues, right? We get along. But a lot of people nowadays are just so set on their ways, they can't listen to each other. Right? That's part of the problem. Yeah.
So it's all about finding common ground, and coming off this weekend where there were celebrations for the U.S. Army's 250th birthday. I know you participated in that, and No Kings protest happening at the same time, which you, Eric, helped organize. They sound very different, but you say even here you can share some common ground. So can you elaborate on that?
Well, sure, and I didn't actually organize a No Kings event, but I did participate one in Castle Rock.
Okay.
And yeah, so we can all be, advocating what values are important to us, what issues are important to us. In the case of No Kings, important concerns about the health and vibrancy of our constitutional republic under the current administration, and we can all feel honored towards and respect for our military. So there's a lot of commonality in our views, but we maybe express them in somewhat different ways sometimes.
Okay, so why is having dialogue so important, and why should we lean into these difficult conversations rather than retreating from them?
Well, so speaking to what Eric's discussing about this weekend, you have families where you may have some people who actively participated in the protests over the weekend, and then you have some people who stayed home and looked a little askance at the people protesting in the events. And so what you have is you have the need to preserve those really essential and valuable relationships at the same time you articulate your principled disagreements. And so how do you do that so you keep your families and your friends rather than retreating to your echo chambers? That's why it's so important.
So you have these workshops where you teach people some skills and look for those common areas, but what happens when you can't find common ground? Does that ever happen at these?
Well, I don't have any memory of that kind of supportable conflict at an event. I mean, they're generally pretty genial. And the trainings that we provide, our workshops, they're great for in the moment establishing, commonality of spirit. But really, what they're most effective at is preparing people to interact with other people, with their family members, with their colleagues, their coworkers, their neighbors. And so, as far as that goes, I can't really speak to what kinds of success or failure rate there is in using the skills out in the wild. But it's so important to develop these skills and practice them.
And they're trying, which
is
a big part
Just
of
try,
it.
right? Exactly, yeah. That you're going to have a difference of an opinion. Exactly. So you've got some of these workshops and debates coming up. Tell us more about what you'll be covering.
So this Saturday, June 21st, we will be having a workshop that is called Families and Politics. And it goes directly, it's timely, isn't it?
Holiday special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll have an afternoon debate that is about gender ID and the state's role versus the parents' role versus the school's role. On July 19th, we will have a skills workshop called Disagreeing Better. And then in the afternoon, we'll talk about whether gun laws infringe on personal freedoms. On August 16th, we will have something called LAP skills, which is listen, acknowledge, pivot, and perspective. And in the afternoon, we will have a debate on freedom of religion, freedom from religion, and the First Amendment. And to add a note on those debates, because that was a great question about how people, if people, don't come to agreement. I'm a debate chair, so I chaired a debate in Loveland not too long ago, and it was on Doge and Elon Musk. Despite the breadth of political ideas represented there, everyone aligned on the need to reduce the size of the federal government. There was widespread agreement on some confusion about how Doge was reporting its results and how accurate those results were. And there was also widespread agreement on some confusion about the methods that Doge was taking to make those reductions happen.
So is it more about just the agreement of what's going on or trying to change someone's mind?
It's about better understanding yourself.
Okay.
And it's about reminding ourselves that we have more common ground. There's more that unites us than divides us.
Okay.
Okay, so if someone wants to get involved, what are the next steps? Where should people go to learn more or sign up?
Well, so very quickly, our Alliance website, our chapters are called Alliance, is co-sfra.braverangels.org. And there you can navigate to our calendar page, to our summer page, and learn more about our events on the third Saturdays this summer, and then sign up for them, which we very much encourage people to do.
Okay, and we'll make sure to link all of that on our website as well, fox21news.com.
All right, Eric Brody, thank you so much for being here. Sandra Brownrigg, thank you very much for being here today and sharing your talents and your skills with us.
Thank you.
Proving that we could all get along.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Okay, time now. It's 8.